You hear that, everybody? You hear that? That's the sound of TouKen. Or, yeah, just TouKen. Just TouKen. Hey guys, what's up? Lucky G7 is here today to give you guys another Tokyo Ghoul podcast. Now, I do want to say this first. I did have another podcast recorded prior to this, but let's just say technical difficulties came in, and it sucks because that podcast was actually a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do, but hopefully this one is able to make up for it. And just like the last couple times, I've got a special friend / special guest with me today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm back once again, wasting my time because this podcast might end up losing this content once again like the last time. No, but just kidding. But it was really fun that time, and I hope we could recapture that kind of tone, or even more so with this podcast recording. And I believe we can, because we got a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, we sure do. I mean, just the fact that, keep in mind, we had a TouKen moment in chapter 122, which was already like setting the bar high as for like greatest TouKen moments. And then 2 chapters later, you get this. Like you get that particular scene that everyone's been buzzing about. Tumblr's going crazy. Not sure how Instagram is, but I do know like YouTube and like forums, Reddit, all that stuff. I know all you guys have been chatting like, yo, is that a kiss? Is that a kiss? No, I don't think that's a kiss. Personally, I'll save it for the end, because that's like something worth talking about like near the end of the chapter, which, like I said before, we're going to save that whole bit for the end. Instead, what we're going to do is talk about like what happened in the chapter and starting things off. Obviously, Mutsuki with the hand. Yeah. That hand, man. That hand.
The hand of might. Oh man, we actually discussed this a lot about that hand, or just Mutsuki itself, the entire scene with Mutsuki in the last chapter. I guess we could kind of go briefly about the whole situation, which is with her and everything that transpired this entire scene.
True, yeah. So, as you guys know, in the last chapter 123, we had Mutsuki come in, and she was also trying to get Kaneki to like come back with her, and crazy shit happened. She went crazy psycho when seeing Touka, and then, we get to the end of the chapter where Mutsuki shows Touka the hand with the ring on it, and say, "No, yeah, by the way, your friend Yoriko Kosaka is getting married. You see the little picture right over here with the hand? It's like, oh, fuck. You had to pull that shit on." I mean, it was already kind of bad enough when you hinted at that at the beginning of chapter 123, but when you showed the end, it's like, did she really just pull that shit? Did she really pull that shit? And then, too, you have Udi just, like, walking into her room and, like, you're seeing, like, daggers and stuff, like, pinned to the wall with tons and tons of pictures of Touka, which obviously shows how far she's gone. But given where things are right now, especially, like, how the chapter opens up, you have Mutsuki kind of just doing the same thing, just, saying stuff like, that she was rather uncompliant, and the fact that she got arrested. Now, again, something I want to bring up from the last podcast that we were not able to share with you guys. I'm thinking that the arm is a prosthetic, that it's not actually Yoriko's hand, that it is a fake hand, just a toy with Touka. But now that we got something along the lines of the fact that she got arrested, could she be telling the truth, or is she just trying to crawl under Touka's skin? Personally, with me, I think it's like 50-50. It can go either direction. It can go the direction of maybe she's telling the truth, or maybe she is trying to crawl under Touka's skin just to get to her bad side, which, in a way, you kind of do see that in the chapter.
Well, the way you brought that up, I guess you could kind of say that maybe she is trying to just taunting her just to crawl under her skin, especially the way the Touka respawn, which I will admit that I expected her to go lashing out and all that craziness, like something that's similar to the part 1 days. but she really is more calm and more, collective, to the point that she just pretty much, protecting her by just saying, look, never heard of her, which makes sense. And that was the best response you could actually give when it comes to you being affiliated with her, or the other way around, excuse me. So the point is, she obviously take this really hard because that is her best friend. Even if they haven't met in a long time, that's still best friends. She cherished that bond. That said, I think Mutsuki try to get like more out of her in order to, I guess, provide more evidence, and maybe you could have Yoriko go to, I don't know what kind of senses. I'm not sure how they treat them in the CCG, especially the current one. But the point is like, okay, we're gonna have Touka being very upset because I just got her best friend. I'm gonna crawl on her skin, and probably she will come after me, and then she probably just jump right at me, and I'll attack the hell out of her. That didn't happen, of course. She got kicked really bad, and Touka just like, nope, never heard of her, and remain cool. But that kick pretty much tells you everything you need to know how she feels, if anything.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's like I've been saying. Like is even the part when you mentioned of the fact of that Touka mentions that never heard of her. In a way, I kind of expected to go that in there because again, she's trying to keep like a cool, calm, and collected posure, making sure that nothing gets slipped out of the way. And when you get to the end, like you really see how she feels about this whole thing when it comes to Kosaka. And immediately right after that scene with Touka, we cut to Aura and Kaneki, which I did kind of think that Kaneki was down. I kind of thought that, but you cut to the chapter, this portion of the chapter, and Kaneki is still on his feet, and he is still a boss, as always. So that just comes to show you guys, don't doubt Kaneki. Don't ever doubt Kaneki, especially like when he's got like a suppressant drug, like not implanted, but just injected into his system.
Well, it's like what I said in my review. It was not a matter of like, oh no, Aura was really gonna kill him or beat him down badly. I never doubted that he was that weak. I never doubted he was gonna get beat down that much. I always said that the main problem, well, it didn't end up being the case. Sort of, but the point is, I mean, like, if you think about it, the damage is done because Mutsuki did show Touka that, hey, guess what? I got your friend's hand, and she's under arrest. And she was going to get married, but nope. She did her deal, even though she probably want more out of Touka, and clearly it kind of shows that she want more out of Kaneki, but, everything just go haywire. But back to Kaneki. I never doubted that he was going to be like, oh no, I'm so weak, I'm going to get beat down by a noob, which he even said back to him, calling him a greenhorn. It's like, oh, please, come on. You should know better that the drug suppressor only have this limit, so don't even try. And then he just pummel him, and that was the end of the story. All he needs to do is, like, I don't know, have that coat, that jacket that he had in the last arc, and just put it down. Like, yep, boss, done. That's all he was missing. But yeah, like I said, it was only a matter of like how much time would it take before Kaneki could go back to Mutsuki, and fortunately she did her damage, even though it could have been much worse. But hey, the damage was done. Yoriko is now under arrest. Now she knows, and later on she's taking that toll. Yeah, that's the real damage, if anything.
And that also just kind of really comes to show you just like how far we've kind of gotten into the series too. I mean, getting on like where the things went with the chapter. I mean, we got the O-Guy squad. I mean, the last time we saw them was 121, where they're like holding up like skulls or whatever, like heads. They're holding like the heads of like the ghouls that they killed.
Yeah, it was like Halloween.
Yeah, but you see them this chapter, and they're like, yeah, we're still under 18. I'm like, what the hell?
Let's go ride our bicycles.
I was like, okay.
Oh my god. I just like how Kaneki's like looking up and like, bicycles? Seriously? And it's like, yeah, we're under 18. All right, Zach.
I mean, I'm not exactly sure how the age system works in Japan as far as like getting driver's license is concerned, but okay, because here as far as the US goes, it's like 16.
Yeah, I don't know what's the age restriction and all that stuff. I'm still not familiar in Japan. So I'll just go with whatever they say. I mean, granted, you don't need to be over 18 to, kill a ghoul, but
nope.
If you're gonna drive, I mean, you gotta wait until you hit over 18. That's their logic. Don't look at mine.
Yeah, like, so they're going in, and the shop very reminiscent, and we've been saying this since the first podcast, but yeah, very reminiscent of on Tokyo in many ways, because a lot of dust is being settled in, a lot of windows are being destroyed within the re-shop, and of course Kaneki's like, wait, what the hell's with those wheels? They're going in for the attack, but Kaneki obviously avoids because, you know, he's that good, and it seems that Mutsuki and Touka's fight, I don't want to say it was off screen, but because we see Touka like running out from the shop, and then Kaneki tells Touka like, "Hey, let's go." So they're able to get away. Thus, we have Mutsuki show up, and in a completely shocked yet pissed off phase after them, with some of the O guy squad's like, she's kind of scary." It's like, yeah, she's in one of those phases. Like, she even goes on to say, like, don't go, please, like, still pleading on to the fact of, not trying to let go of her sensei. But more so than that, the dialogue kind of with Mutsuki ends with, "I'll fucking kill you." So, yeah, that shit happens. And of course, you have Aura there, looking kind of pathetic after the shit that happened with Kaneki. And just like in Tokyo Ghoul, we have the shop burning down. I mean, if that's not parallels and symbolisms, then I don't know, guys. I really don't know.
Oh, don't worry. We got a much worse one later on. In terms of symbolism, that is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We do.
Yeah, we have to even worse one. But, you know, I wouldn't say I'm surprised that the cafe was destroyed, like the last part. But it only tells me, okay, that's not going to happen in terms of, this is the main focus of the arc. We're gonna do a raid against Ray Cafe. So
no,
that's not happening because that's already destroyed. So are we doing any raid? Is there going to be a reverse? Is it actually going against the CCG? Like, let's raid the CCG for good this time. That's actually kind of very. It makes me wonder because I'm so used to the Ghoul getting the raid. So what if this one ends up being a different case? I mean, you could still do raid, but it could be like a ward, a 20th ward, I think, maybe. I don't know. They are trying to execute every single Ghoul in each award so far. So anything is possible now. Anything is possible. It no longer needs to be in a one shop place to do the mission. It could be just a one entire section, or it could be different. It could be reversed. I don't know. There's a lot of possibility if you ask me. So that's intriguing.
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, and I did notice this too, but like the fact that the reshub got burned like at the start of the arc, because that's important, because the Ontaku shop, if I remember correctly, didn't that burn like at the towards like the end portions of the final arc?
Yes, it was burned down. You know, actually, I'll save this conversation. I'll say this part later, but yeah, it did happen at the end of the arc with the whole burning down the Teku. That did happen. And then if I recall, the last chapter, they do go back to that spot one last time to take a glance, and yeah, it's already burned down.
Okay, so that answers one question. But immediately right after that, we cut to, and this is where I got kind of confused when I was doing my live reaction, but is that Chihori or is that somebody else? Because that's kind of where I'm stuck on. Because I know Taki's always talking with but do you happen to know who this is? Because I was a bit lost on the character that showed up, like with Takizawa.
I try to remember the name, but I think she's like those. I think she's supposed to be related to those two brothers from the last part that was working with Totoro. Remember those two guys that were on?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. She's related. I think she's a sister, if I recall correctly. I'm trying to remember the name because I had to search myself too. I remember her, but I forgot the name.
Yeah, the name is what I was trying to remember. Like, okay, I've seen her, but
I know
this kind of escaped me.
Tomoe. There you go.
Tomoe. Okay.
Yumisu Tomoe. That's her name.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember her. It's funny because I was wondering, like, hey, whatever happens to that girl that Takizawa technically take hostage? It's like, all right, let me take you with me because stuff. Let's just go. So whatever happened to her? I was wondering myself. The last arc, she just disappeared. Then
yeah, it's like, well, what happened to her?
Yeah, and then this arc, she reappeared. And I guess all this time she was under Goat. And I think I'm assuming. Because I'm assuming Takizawa and her are in that squad, as Kaneki told everybody, get your own squad, be in your squad right now, because this was 2 or whatever people.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because you're having like this whole conversation go down where like Kagizawa and her are talking, and like he's like mentioning stuff about like the new investigator weapons, and like how the world's gonna be like kind of hard for like ghouls to call home because it's like we've been saying, like the CCG are eliminating every ghoul within the wards. It's not like just it's not just the bad ones either. It's like every ghoul that like causing wreck throughout Tokyo. If we want to go by that standpoint,
right? That's to me that feels like a signal of, I guess, that moment, that the way how she's described the entire scenario, like especially where she say like, it's the most, it's like what caused the destruction and the devastation, and it all starts from one thing, which it does make sense a lot of ways. Like it starts small and it just gradually grows, and then it goes to that moment and it's just like everything just fall apart. Basically in this case is this whole old guy thing, and now they're just spreading everywhere, and they're exterminating every single ghoul as much as they can from every single ward. To me, that kind of tells me like, it feels like they feel like the next arc it has to be done. Like it has to end CCG, especially Furuta CCGs, because if they just ignore it, everyone should keep on dying. It kind of hints that they're going to go after them. That's the way I'm imagining. Like again, the cafe is just burnt down, so there's no need to focus on that. Now you could do a reverse. It depends what Kaneki wants to do next. I mean, Kaneki did say like he wants to expose Furuta, so he could still do that, but that's required going to the headquarters right there. It could be reversed. It kind of hinted because it has to be done in terms of taking care of the old guy and the CCG. Because otherwise, the whole thing would just be exterminate, and it feels like the series would just end right there if they just do anything. They had to bring that they can't live in Tokyo anymore, so they have to take action. That's my best guess.
I would say the same thing too, because the thing it's like you said, if they just left CCG, especially Forza CCG, like the way it is, it would just only grow and expand. It would get so far to a point where the ghouls would be like completely extinct. Like their race would just be gone.
Well, yeah. If we're gonna just focus on Tokyo, of course, because the whole Germany thing. I think they're supposed to have their own ghouls too. But point is, what we're just saying, like, okay, they have to take action, or there's just no place for home. There's just no home for them at all, and they would just die from it. They would die from starvation because they can't even find food, from what I heard, from what I read. I mean, I think that's what I read. Like, if they can't find food and they're gonna really starve to death, or they're gonna just go crazy and then they expose themselves, and then old guy would just eliminate them and rinse and repeat. That's how it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. But so immediately after that scene, we cut to Uri and Susie, and oh my god, Uri's introduction in the chapter. That introduction had me rolling in laughter because it's the line he says. He's like, the bureau chief, in quotes. That piece of shit is calling for you. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this guy.
How can you not like this guy? Seriously, how can you not like this guy?
I mean, in the beginning of Tokuguri, I could understand he was a piece of shit, but you see him now, it's like, Woody, you're definitely up there now as far as favorite characters go.
Exactly. I like this whole scene with Suzuya and Uri just having a discussion, especially when you have Suzuya, out of all characters in this series, it does demonstrate his development that he's talking about peace. Like, if you were to ask me, if I would have been like talking to a person who just started reading this series, who's still reading the volume releases from America, like if he's asking me for small spoilers, like, so what happens to Suzuya? Oh, he's talking about peace. He's like, peace? I mean, he doesn't look like that kind of peace. Yeah. They would be like, what? Peace? He doesn't look like that kind of guy. He look like, if anything, he'd probably be like, oh, I love war. It's fantastic. Something. Oh, more blood, more stitches, something.
Are we sure we're not talking about his brother? It's like, nope, we're talking about the same Susie. It's like, well, okay, then.
You're not talking about his a mentor. You're not talking about him. I'm like, oh, him? Oh, he's brain dead. I'm like, what? He's a vegetable now. He's a vegetable now. So
it sucks.
No, yeah, it really sucks, man. Any more spoilers?
Oh yeah, sorry for those who are only catching up via via volume releases.
Well,
We should have put that in the quotes, but yeah.
who's Mutsuki? What's going on with Touka? What happened to Oriko? I remember her. She lost her hand. Help me.
But yeah, like as the conversation's going down, like you even have them discussing about like what happened in the final arc of the original Tokyo Ghoul, which was basically the owl operation. Personally, I felt like that was Ishida, like not only just correlating the fact this event happened, but again, just further solidifying our thoughts on the fact that this is again mirroring that particular arc. Again, it's not like the cafe is being raided, because again, cafe just burned down in the beginning of the chapter, and hell, like not even just beginning of the chapter, but in the beginning of this arc, which again is pretty different from the last arc. In the last arc of the original, because that arc, that shop burned down at the end. So there's parallelisms there. It's like, okay, yeah, it's kind of like reflecting. Oh, what's the right word? It's like looking at your reflection in the ocean. It's like, yeah, like you see one end, but then you see it like from a totally different end, like within the ocean's reflection. That's kind of what's being shown here, because you have Uri and Susie talking, and they're just like, yeah, in the owl operation, many ghouls were killed and many investigators died. I guess you can say that all that brought back peace. And then this is something interesting that Uri brings up, because he's like, but will fighting under Kichimoto Washu have the same result? What is peace even? Which, again, you have Susie saying, either humans or ghouls, if one of those two disappears completely, we will have peace. And this is actually pretty important. This is, I think, the most important part about this part of the chapter, because you have Suzuya throwing away a paper airplane. Now, why is this so important? It's because in the final arc of the original Tokyo Ghoul, you have a similar thing. You have a paper airplane being thrown. Though, I'm not entirely sure if Suzuya was the one that threw the paper airplane in the last arc of the original Tokyo Ghoul. I remember a paper airplane was flying, but
wait, you were saying you asking if Suzuya is the one that threw the airplane?
Yeah,
yeah, he did. He
did?
threw that.
Okay, yeah, because I was just trying to remember. I was like, wait, hold on, did he throw it in the last arc or no?
The funny thing is, if I recall correctly, he threw it with a smile, like all like the old Suzuya style. This one is more subtle, more mellow down.
Like, yeah, he seems more. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like it's the same things happening, but totally different reactions on like from Suzuya then. Because in that one, he was like happy. This one, he's like, well, let's look at it from this perspective, and then you just see the paper airplane just going away.
Mm-hmm. That. Not a good foreshadow.
Nope.
Like that scares the hell out of me, because again, going back what I was saying again, they have to take down CCG, because if Olga continues on, then no hope. So they have to do it, and that tells me it's like this is going to be like the biggest war that a ghoul against humans is ever going to be shown, and that's the way I see it now. With Suzuya, portraying this way, talking about peace. We just got back about talking about like how devastation comes about. Now this one is about like what exactly is peace? Like what is peace? And with the way how Uri brought it up, it does makes you wonder, like, even though he is a piece of shit, we are still doing that whole we're killing ghouls. That's CCG's job. Would that be the same thing? What we're gonna have? What we're gonna get? What do we earn? And it leaves you wondering, like, maybe he's like, this option is probably the worst. It's probably not the best option, all because you're killing all the ghouls, the one thing everybody learned to be feared of. Do you think that's going to bring peace? Well, that's up to you. And the way how Suzuya said, like, he'd be fine just the things staying the way they are, meaning like, leave the life how it is. It's kind of like, okay, there's a zombie apocalypse, it sucks, there's zombies, there's no real cure, but what can we do? We just got to stick to this life now. That's our new life. It sucks, but we just deal with it. If you go further, you probably end up dying yourself. You probably cause more damage. You never know. You just have to deal with the way it is. That's how this pretty deep stuff, and still scares me. Especially,
I don't blame you for thinking that way. In fact, I'm feeling the exact same way, because I remember in the original, we always go back to the original because it's sheet and parallels, but because right after the paper airplane flew off in the original, that's when like all the crazy shit started happening in the like in that final arc. So the fact that we're having the same thing happen here again, that's kind of again like foreshadowing and hinting that something bad is gonna happen. We just don't know what that is yet. In fact, I think especially with how the conversation went down and what I've been saying through like the past couple podcasts, I think this is again further hinting that Uri and even possibly Suzuya, just based on like how the conversation went down, that they're possibly going to switch sides to Kaneki because they know how shitty things are going with Furuta in Reigns. I mean, it's actually, I just thought this right off the bat, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're the ones that run into Akira and Amon, because it's been like a couple chapters since we've seen them, and we don't exactly know what's going on, but that would be kind of interesting to see if while they're stuck on like the decision on like what they want to do, and then you have Arima and not Arima, you have Akira and Amon there. You've got Amon and Akira there, like kind of like helping them, like giving them a helping hand in that sense.
That's true. It really depends what exactly Amon and Akira are doing. I always, like I said, I think two podcasts ago, I feel like they could make a new faction, but maybe they could join with the goats. I don't know. They could still do their own faction because it all depends what Akira feels about the whole situation that, though he's a one-eyed king, he's the killer of Arima, this and that, how much it's affecting her still in her mindset, even though deep down there's still that real relationship they have with like the mother-son relationship. The last time we saw them, the last page we saw them, but not the last page, but the second last page, the one that's like the almost a carbon copy as the older chapter of it. So I don't know. It's a lot of things to think of. All I know is that this arc seems to guarantee there's going to be a lot of people dying, and a lot of people either lose a limb, dies, lose something, anything. So that's scary. Too scary.
I mean, as far as who I think is going to die is concerned, I mean, just based on this chapter alone, Takeyomi, like, it's there, but I don't know if I can still say it's like as high as it was, say, in chapter 121. I'm not exactly sure if I can say that for sure, but you get him, Takizawa, like, depending on how things go with him, Amon and Akira, he's probably another one I can go to. Mutsuki, definitely. I'm saying that right now. Mutsuki, definitely.
Is it definitely because you want it, or you definitely because you see it?
Both.
Here's what I see. Mutsuki death is high. The percentage of her death rate is high, but it depends. Like, I feel like if it's the case of Yoriko, if her hands really got cut off by Mutsuki, I feel like Tokyomi might end up questioning and then probably find out that Mutsuki is the one that did that. I mean, she's under arrest. She should be treated as bad. But if Tokyomi love for her is really that strong, she would still respect in every way. So therefore, he would probably respect her to try to find the person who cut her hand, if her hand is gone. And then that leads to Mutsuki, then that would leave a lot of commotion within the bout. So if that happens, either Mutsuki dies or Takeyomi dies. One way or another. That's the settlement I see.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's the other thing too, is because, like, again, right now, Yoriko's whereabouts are kind of unknown. The only thing we saw is that in the beginning of 123, when she's checking out her wedding dress and someone's calling out her name, that's it. We don't know exactly what's going on with her at this point in time, aside from Mutsuki saying, oh yeah, well, like, she's in custody, because again, that could just be Mutsuki trying to crawl under Touka's skin. It could just be that. So until we figure out what's going on Yoriko's end, it's up in the air. But I will say, again, depending on the fact, if that arm is actually cut off, then yeah, I don't see things faring well with Takeyomi and Mutsuki, especially since they're supposed to be working together on this case.
That's true. Again, it depends. Like Takeyomi, well, he seems very loyal, so his love might be really, really legit enough that it's like, okay, you know, it sucks that you know a ghoul and you got arrested, but I still love you. So you know, I'm always gonna respect you every ounce away. So tell me who cut your hands off. You know, instead of like, oh, you're working with a ghoul, I do not love you anymore. The wedding is off. You know, nothing like that. If I don't see that happening. So if it's like the former, then she's in trouble. it's clear cut.
Mm-hmm. So from there, we cut to what everybody is talking about with this chapter. I know you guys have been waiting for a while, but we cut to a decayed building for sure. But I don't know. It's not a coffee shop. For sure, I can say that. But based on what it is, it's an abandoned building because you've got the scene going down with Kaneki saying, "I hope we can all manage to actually meet up." Because again, and that's actually the funny thing. We don't actually know the teams that are like split up and stuff. I think that's the interesting thing is like everyone's split up, but we don't exactly know who's on whose team. That I think is like still kind of interesting to talk about. I mean, if you're asking me, probably Hinami, Ayato, and who else?
Yomo?
Yeah, Yomo. Them I could see. I think we mentioned Naki, Shu, and oh my god, what's her name?
Misa.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
that's too perfect.
Yeah, that would be a fun chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
I think the what's also interesting is when they all reunited. Like, is anybody going to be left behind? And if somebody is left behind, we'll be like, oh, that's not good. Because now we know Ogai are still spreading. I mean, they just attacked Kaneki this chapter. So that means they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Who to say that, they didn't find the other ghouls, the other GOAT members. And, again, going back with Tomoe saying like, oh, they have that sense of smell. It leads to that. It leads to another. So if they could track them easily, that means some of the members are probably going to get caught. I don't know who, but I think that's one intriguing part. I mean, it could be a bluff. It could be like, okay, everybody's fine. That's fine by me. But it could play a part on your end. Like, oh man, I hope nobody gets caught. Please, nobody get caught. No, if any, you be kind of a little worried, just not even seeing or knowing anything.
Who would be the most likely to get caught? If we want to bring that into discussion,
maybe whoever with Shu is Swift, maybe.
So Naki and Misa
and Shu, maybe. Just a huge maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure who's Corona with.
True.
Could be Corona. Could be.
Corona could be another one too.
Like, hey, it's kind of more invention, more experiments. I mean, it's like, oh, that son of a bitch.
Yeah, because right now, Hinami, Ayato, and Yomo, I think they're, for the most part, they're probably fine.
They should be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's which team would, oh, yeah. They'll be fine. I don't know. It's really hard to say who's in the squad and who's not going to be fine. Takizawa will be fine. He's strong enough. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Yeah, at this point, it's like, well, until we see what's actually going on their end, which, as far as when I think we're going to get them again, I'd give it maybe a couple chapters. Like, I'll make 2 or 3.
Maybe the next chapter we find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could happen too.
That's the next chapter is entirely focused on whether or not this scene happened, and we get to that right now.
Yeah, so right after that, Kaneki looking over at Touka, and this is the thing I was saving for the end, because again, you had Touka having a cool, calm, and collected pose when Mutsuki mentioned Yoriko, and now you kind of see how she's actually feeling about the whole thing, because Yoriko was Touka's best friend. It's similar to, because again, it's been stated before within the original Tokyo Ghoul, and it's even stated in the chapter, but Hide, Yoriko was what Hide was to Kaneki. And it's funny because when you see Touka mention that question to Kaneki, you see he's having that look on his face. And of course, right now, the only thing he can think of is the fact, that last scene that he had with Hide, right before, whatever happened to Hide, because again, right now, it's still kind of up in the air, but you have Kaneki saying, I was never able to actually go to do something concrete, because whenever I felt that way, I'd just be consumed by the desire to see him again. I'm sorry, I'm not much help. I think we should just rest. We're pretty beaten up, and then you get the ... because you have Touka there just listening on the conversation. She closes her eyes just for a moment, pushes Kaneki out the way, and then She puts her as soon as I saw this, as soon as I saw the fact that she was putting her hand behind her hair, I was like, oh no. I was like, wait,
So,
are we
no.
actually getting that moment? Are we actually getting that moment? Because you have Kaneki saying toe, and right when that happens, it's like kiss. Or that's what it's led to believe, because you have the editor's note in the corner saying, I pray I'm not dreaming. And I'm like, huh. That's funny. I was thinking the exact same thing when I finished the show.
I love the editor notes. They're the best part. They're like one of the best part of the series.
I know, right?
It's sad that when you get the volume, you won't see them, I believe. So
Nope.
that's a downside of the volume release, guys. Downside right there.
Unless you want to write it down somewhere, it's like, yeah, I pray I'm not dreaming.
You can write it, yeah, sure.
But yeah, that ending.
Yes. Huh.
Did they actually kiss? I want to say 55% yes and 45% no. That's my best guess.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, you know, I know a lot of people jump to conclusion, and that's fine.
I was one of them.
Okay. I guess it would kind of remind me of the I won't spoil it here. I won't spoil it here. I guess it kind of reminded me of the Attack on Titan spoiler, the major spoiler that everybody got talking for a moment. It has to do with a character's RIP, but I won't go further detail. Anyway, the point is, I actually got spoiled before the chapter release. And I was like, because I was finished writing a post for people to read, and right before I'm about to X out, it would just happen to appear this legit spoilers that are everywhere, and it just so happened that Touka kissed Kaneki at the end. I was like, wait, what? So I'm thinking maybe it could be like one of those old spoilers, the days where there's like 88 spoilers and only one of them is true because you got to find the coding or whatever, how that works. The whole 2chan, 4chan, I don't know. It was strange. It was weird. So I just went to sleep, woke up the earliest possible because I don't know. It just my mind just told me, you gotta see that kiss. You gotta see that kiss. And then I woke up, read the chapter, and it turns out the chapter is, yeah, it was true. Just how much true is it? Because look, I'm not saying, oh no, it's not a kiss. Just get over yourself. Again, I'll be happy. I'll be like, cool, that's great. They kissed. That's awesome. Pairing confirmed, I think, maybe, who knows? But point is, I'm not jumping to that conclusion yet because it could be a taunt. It could be a troll from Ishida. It could be because it is done by cliffhanger. It's not done, and you got to look at the way how the scene plays out. It's not like, you know, both of them have an agreement and just make out. It's more of like, what's going on? Like, why did Touka approach him that way? And did she really go all the way to do that kiss? I don't know. But the main question is, like, what exactly is going through her mind with that whole idea? Why that timing? It's like, you know, it just came right after Kaneki didn't give him the proper didn't give her the proper answer to, you know, to calm her down, or to be like, you know, I guess maybe it did calm her down. I don't know. I really don't know. Point is, it happened because of after that whole pep talk about wanting to see your friend, like how much you desire to see your friend. And Kaneki pretty much like, no, I never got that feeling. I never got to that because it'd be scary if I actually feel like I wanted to see Hide, and, you know, it could lead to a lot of problems. So one way or another, you know, you just see Touka just approached him, you know, obviously Kaneki, I guess you could kind of say he was ambushed. Then that scene happened. Now the question relies in, did they kiss? I'm going to say I'm always back and forth. Even in my review, I know. Even in my review, to be honest, I don't even know. Oh no, actually I remember now, because again, I'm like, did I say no? Did I say yes? It makes me keep jumping one answer or another. Like, I wonder, like, if I have to place $100, what is the answer? Maybe I would just say no, but under what circumstance that you say no? Maybe Kaneki block himself, maybe Touka block herself. I really don't know. If I have to choose one, maybe she didn't really go, maybe she stopped herself, maybe, because I guess she's like in that moment. And you gotta remember her character, like, she's very afraid to be alone. And that's her main problem, like, you know, loneliness thing. You know, you saw that from the last series. You saw the last part. You saw that before Kaneki does his awesome entrance.
Mm-hmm.
that's her main fear. That's something that she does not want to deal with. And losing Yoriko is like part of it, because Yoriko, because you really see the last part. You could read the novel. I haven't read the novel yet, but I get the feeling if I read the novel, I'm gonna feel much sorry. But point is, she means a lot to Touka. I mean, you already saw that from the manga itself. You could just get more out of the novel. But point is, she met, I don't know, like she's definitely like top 2, top 1 even. Now she's dealing the same feeling that Kaneki had to deal with back in part 1. But obviously she's trying to find the answer, and the answer really didn't come out the way that she would be hoping for. But it is what it is, because Kaneki Kaneki is very preservative, and now she's in this moment. I'm guessing she's doing this because she was out of stress. Maybe because because they did say, because I do see a lot of series or a lot of media style, the way how they address that the people go to lovemaking to relieve their stress. And, I don't have that kind of dilemma on my end ever. God forbid. But if it probably is true. And if it is true, then that's probably the case for this series. You got to remember, this series is ascending. It's going to have more realistic approach. And this could be one of them. So in the end, I think it will come close, but no cigar scenario. I don't think they kiss. I mean, look, I'm not against it. Like, again, I'm all for TouKen. I just don't think that happened here. I think what's weird is that it parallels to the last series, but instead of with Alma and Akira, it's with Touka and Kaneki. And if we're closing into the end of the series, the end of the Re, if we're close to that end, then this could be one of the way. Because if we're gonna soon close the series, we gotta start developing the pairing even further to the kissing point. I mean, you can do that, but you could just stop at second stage. You're almost at the third stage where it gets really intimate. So I guess I'm going to say no. That's my answer. I could be wrong. Oh, I could definitely be wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it's like we've been saying, like with Ishida, anything can happen at this point. It could be a kiss, or it could just be. I think what would be even hilarious is like, what if Kaneki does what Almond did and just covers his mouth? That would, like, if I saw that, I'd be like, huh. Okay, now I'm really seeing similarities. I mean, it's already similar in and of itself. Like, the parallels are there. But if you just have that in the next chapter, then yeah, that's like really showing that, okay, the same thing, only it's Kaneki and Touka, not Amon and Akira. And that's actually kind of interesting, like the way how you brought up like your thoughts when it came to like this particular moment, because I remember the spoilers came out. I was about to head to bed. Spoilers come out, and I was like, I was this close. I was this close to checking them out, but I said, nah, I want to actually wait and see what happens in the chapter. And I was reading it, and I was like, all right, so the stuff that was going on, the scenes with Mutsuki, the coffee shop being on fire, and the scene with Uri and Suzuya, like, the scenes like that, especially like with the scene with Takizawa too. I was reading it, I was like, this is actually getting really good. Like, I'm really excited with the stuff that's happening. Then you cut to that final part of the chapter. And then when I saw that for the first time, I was like, whoa. I was like, hold on a minute. The fact that she pushed Kaneki back, the fact that she was holding like the back of her hair, and the fact that she was like kind of like leaning in, it's like, oh, they kissed. They kissed. Like, okay, I'll admit, I did say that. I did say they kissed, but looking more at it now, did they really kiss? Again, like I said before, with me, at this point, it's 55% that, yeah, they did kiss, and a 45% chance that they didn't kiss. That's where my percentage stands at this point in time. But, oh shit, I just lost what I was about to say.
I know that feeling. Damn, I know that feeling. But, well, I guess if they didn't kiss, I think the next question would be like, who would be the one that stops it? Like, who stops that part? Like, would it be Touka stopping herself? Like, oh, like she came close, but she should stop herself because she knows maybe it's not the best answer to do so. Kaneki stops himself doing the almond treatment style, the whole nope, my mouth is covered, sorry. Or it could just be like a troll, like, oh, I thought you was gonna kiss me, but I guess you're just leaning towards my shoulder. That's good too, I guess. So I don't know. Again, if if it happens, great. That's all I can say. I'm not gonna be like, oh man, it happened, boo. I'm not like that guy. I'm just looking based on the way how the story was written, the way how the chapter was written, the way how he even got to that point. Like, why?
Exactly. And okay, I just remembered what I was about to say, but
oh, that's great.
yeah, which is okay. So it didn't take long. The question I think most people have now is how close is TouKen to being canon with this moment? If it is indeed a legit kiss, I think TouKen is probably at like a 99.9% chance of being canon. It just has 1 more percent, like another 0.1% chance, and it's done. That's when TouKen gets completely solidified. If it isn't canon, then it's like I said in the second podcast. It's like at a 95% chance that that's going to be canon. So again, percentage-wise, not much has changed. If anything, this would, again, if it is a kiss, it's just an extra 4.9. That's how much has changed with the percentage game as far as like TouKen being actually canon goes. And something interesting that I talked about with my cousin is, what was worse in terms of cliffhangers? This or the virginity talk? I mean, if you want my honest opinion, the virginity talk, while it did kind of leave a lot of us going like, huh, wait, hold on. Are we actually going to see them two smash? This, I feel like, is actually worse because not only could we see a kiss, but because it's a seinen, you could see other explicit details within the chapter 2. I mean, again, will Ishida go that route? I mean, after that scene with Mutsuki, you guys know what I'm talking about. After that, I'm like, yeah, I'll believe anything that Ishida can pull. But again, it all depends on the next chapter, how it opens up. If we're continuing immediately after this chapter, if it's like an actual kiss going on, then sure, I could see that happening. If it isn't, then oops.
Well, it is guaranteed at least that we are going to continue. We're going to resume back from this scene. So that's a relief. I hope. I'm placing all that bet on that preview title. Well, not preview title, preview message saying like next time did the relationship get closer or something like that. Something around similar to what I'm saying. The distance between them changes, with question mark, exclamation mark. And obviously suggest that, yeah, we're going to see the continuation, the resuming from this scene, and it don't need to take that long for all of us to be like wondering, did they do it? Did they go all the way? So, oh boy.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm not sure myself either.
I was like, wait, what happened? No, but yeah, like it's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in with what could happen. I mean, again, I know people are still bringing up the 122 color page. Yeah, the 122 color page with Touka. I know a lot of people are still bringing that, going like, is that hinting? Did that hint at this? And like I said, next chapter will determine everything. If we cut the Hinami, then okay, we skip the moment. But if we're still there, or hell, like maybe even Ishida could even do this. He could do like a 4 or 5 hour time skip in the next chapter, and then it's like, oh, yeah, that was fun.
Well, that would kind of suck. That would kind of suck because it would still make us wonder. I mean, unless you see no clothes, then fine. We know now. But I don't know. I hope that doesn't happen. Honestly, they should just resume the very next scene. It has to continue the very next scene. No exception. I can't take an hour time skip. I can't take 30-minute time skip. I can't even take a minute's time skip. It has to be now.
Yeah, right here, right now, just go in. I mean, what do you feel like was worse as far as like cliffhangers? This one or 121 with the virginity doc?
This one by far, because again, the action is actually happening. So you know what they say, action speaks louder than words. And yeah, it pretty much tumbles the entire "are you a virgin" talk, because it ends with a funny note. And then, yeah, it could have been like, it could have gone in a lot of different places, especially, you ask that kind of question. But this one is taking action on her own whim, no less. And we just have to wait for the follow up. Like the same thing for the Virgin one. This follow up is very, very important in terms of characters and pairings. So, yeah, this is definitely by far the biggest cliffhanger in terms of like who out of those two in terms of the characters and the pairing.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree about that 100% too.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
I wonder if this is a pattern. Maybe 126 it would be a different one. Okay, this time I am definitely going to kiss him and then we're going to make out. No, I'm kidding. Then 128. Okay, now I finally have my clothes off. He have his clothes off. We're practically naked. Are we gonna do it? No, that's not right. Like, damn it, what the hell? Stop taunting already.
Make it worse. Like it's like while the whole session's going on, like Hinami walks in like with like a cup of like coffee, and it's like, yeah, did I walk? Oh, you're having that. I'll be back.
Or maybe 130 would be like Touka end the sentence, I'm carrying your baby. And then wait for 131, mask or something. Your old mask. It was like a baby mask. Here's your old one. There you go. Something. I don't know. The scary part is, guys. The scary part is Ishida is very well aware of his surroundings. He's very well of social media. He's very well of how we read, how we are. So he can really play us by doing this scene because with Alma and Akira, we didn't see it kissing, but we really know they did it.
Yeah, we did.
That is obvious. That was clear. He could do the same thing right here. Like, aha, you thought it would be the same thing of the off-screen kiss? I lied to you. You believe that. You're so fool. Plus, 124, the last series, the last part, it almost suggests it was a kiss too. But then you go to the very next page, you see Alma blocked it. Mm-hmm. What is to say Kaneki does the same, or Touka, or anything? I'm not trying to dampen your hopes. I'm just saying you gotta look outside the box as well. Mm-hmm. Anything is possible. And this guy can really do the trolling to his advantage, and that would suck. But that's how he rolls. That's how he is. Fun fact that he did post Suzuya picture right before the chapter release. But then again, on the other hand, the chapter release, technically the one we're reading is leak. So the real official, so the official one is on Thursday. That's the official release. But I do feel like he posted that picture to say, guess what? The next chapter will have Suzuya, and he's gonna talk about some deep stuff. So get ready for that. That can't be coincidence.
Coincidence? I think not.
This guy, if you follow his social media, you'll find a lot of pieces of puzzle that you probably end up finding yourself. Oh man, I saw this coming thanks to my analysis on this picture. And then a lot of them ends up being correct. That's what makes it crazy.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I didn't think we were going to get another TouKen moment for like a very long time. I thought after 122, we were probably going to wait, like, say, maybe like towards like the latter end of the arc. But instead, we got, I mean, I'm not complaining that we got it. I was just surprised, like, wow, that was quick. Like, the fact that it took only a couple chapters, like, yep, we get another moment. I was like, oh, okay. Again, I'm not complaining. I was just like, huh. All right, Ishida, you want to play that game with me then? Damn.
Wow. I'll be honest. When I saw that spoiler, I was thinking like, how if that spoiler was true, and it ends up being. But at the time, I was thinking if that spoiler that I just accidentally read is true, how is that? Why and how? And honestly, I actually thought to myself like maybe she just approached Kaneki during the fight against Mutsuki and then just taunt her like, "Ha, you love Sensei so much. Well, guess what? Boom! I kissed him." That's what I thought. I'm like, well, yeah, that sounds like Touka-ish. So that could happen. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised because Touka likes to backfire you at times too.
Yeah, she does.
So But it ends up being this case, and now we just have to wait a few more days.
It's a few more days, then we'll
I'm
figure out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and I do my best to not to read a spoiler. Actually, I will do my best. I will do my best and not to read spoilers. I'm actually going to play smart because I didn't know the spoiler would be out so early in the nighttime, technically speaking, because it was around 12 midnight that the spoiler released in my time, Eastern Standard Time. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, because for me it usually comes out around like 12 p.m. CDD time for on my end of things. So I was like, huh, okay. It came out at 11. I was like, that's fast.
Oh, whoops. I didn't look at it, but I took a glance. Like, there's like a site that shows you spoilers, and it wasn't posted up yet. So maybe I was like, maybe they post a fake one. Still ends up being right, but I was really getting desperate, I guess, for the lack of a better word, desperate if that spoiler was really true, because that seems very shocking to even hear about that line.
It does.
I was, yeah. This is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, shit. It's a lot to take in, like, because again, right now we're kind of just like it's like, okay, imagine, okay, so we have the TouKen cruise. Like, let's say that in scenario. We have the TouKen cruise. It's sailing. Everything's going fine. Right now, the engines are like on halt. So we're stuck in the middle of the ocean right now. We haven't seen what happens further. So that's going to take a few days. But yeah, so that sense, looking forward to it. But at the same time, just wait and see what happens. That's just the best thing I can say.
I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is going to be if it was to be denied. If it ends up being the case, even if they do kiss, just how far Kaneki would keep going with it. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Or Touka in this case as well. Like, say like they kiss, then would it just keep on going, or obviously go to that other level, the actual level that people tend to do, but do they go that far, or will somebody shove away one or another, or just say, no, I cannot do this, or I shouldn't have done that, whatever? Mm-hmm. That's another possibility too. So in terms of like kiss, that could still happen. But in terms of canon, can that really happen? We don't know.
Where would your stance be? Like, again, like if the kiss actually does happen, like percentage wise, where would your stance be on it being canon?
60?
60?
60. Only because of one thing. Because again, you go and buy this chapter. What makes it scary is not because it feels like this series, this part of the series is ending. Not only it feels like this is the last arc, but so many things that's gathering up in terms of development and relationship going on. It almost trying to suggest like either Touka will die, which that would be the most shocking thing I've probably read in a long time.
I would be sad. I'd be heartbroken. I'd be like, damn.
Either she dies or Kaneki won't live to see the day of light in the end of the series.
Which, technically, in a sense, that already happened with the... Like, if that happens again, I'm going to be like, Ishida, you better not.
What if he does that again? We need a new Anima. So to do that, though.
New Anima? No.
Maybe you could use that guy from V.
Oh God.
Or it could be like, or you could use I don't even know they all know that Uta is a bad guy.
You're right, they don't.
No, the sad part is he gave them the impression that like, oh, I'm working like a spy, but he's really with them. But that makes it messed up. So maybe he would be the one to do like, oh, your fun game ends right here. It was really fun, but you did a lot of good things. Now it's time for you to die.
Think my what?
No, like, I'm sorry. Wait. But what about the good times? The mask. When I show you the Q squad with me, what are those good times? Nah, none of them happened. They were just a blur. But thank you for caring.
He's the Kabuto of the series. Oh God, wow, that's actually a good to correlate that. Or
man.
make it better. You know, now let's not do that. He's the Aizen.
Aizen. You know, I mean, hey, he's still a mystery in terms of what's his agenda, especially being with a Perry of all people, of all groups.
True.
Like, I wouldn't say he doesn't look like one, but I would not imagine before it happened. Because all the Perry member are like cuckoo.
They are.
They're crazy. They love torment. They love them to see them at their worst. They love to see them die in the most brutal, suffering way. I mean, Uta's kind of like that too, but he's more
calm.
Yeah, he's more calm. He's more. I don't know. He's still a mystery to me. That's what. Hell, his Kagane is still a mystery to me.
I think that's something a lot of people should focus on. It's like, well, hold on, what's this Kagane? It's like, yeah, we never saw. Wait, have we seen that or not?
No, we saw a glance, but it's not like his fighting stance. It's just like, oh, let me just kill that guy for a second. Okay. But we never see like a full-fledged fight. Hell, we didn't even see that guy fight Nico.
Nope.
No, it's just cut off because the guy got stabbed right across his forehead.
Like, well, okay, that happened.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he got stabbed. Woohoo!
But okay, so I think it's a good way for us to like segue into the next topic. But given where we're at the moment, we're on chapter 124, and why this is important is because 143 is the final chapter in the original Tokyo Ghoul. We're 19 chapters behind that mark. So a lot of people, from what I've seen and from what I've heard, are thinking, is 19 chapters enough to wrap up everything within the series? Within the series, I don't think so. As far as Tokyo Ghoul Re is concerned, because keep in mind, Re means king, so technically the title is Tokyo Ghoul King. All that stuff, regarding the One-Eyed King is being dealt with in this storyline. Outside of that, I mean, again, I could see this whole thing, as far as the One-Eyed King stuff goes, just being wrapped up within these 19 chapters. For sure, I can see that. And then also, like, the follow-forward of the CCG. That's another thing I can see happening, too. Though, if there is a Tokyo Ghoul Part 3, Tokyo Ghoul V, which I jokingly said in the first or second podcast, I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. If that does happen, the only reason why I'm saying it's a possibility is because if Kano manages to survive this shit again, I'd be pissed, sure, but it really depends on like what his purpose would be in the story. And again, you also have the V organization too. If Period's still around, then I could really see that. You could do a whole storyline just based on them. Again, you have other characters too, like if Yoshimura doesn't play a part in this arc, which personally with me, I don't really think it's going to happen. I really don't. I mean, again, they already teased Hairu coming back. That's a character I can already see right now making a comeback. But as far as like Yoshimura, Rize, Scarecrow is still a possibility. I'm not going to completely dive away from that, but you've got him too. So there's still a good majority of stuff left within the series that I think that's warrantable for a part 3. But it also really depends on where you take things with Goat. Like, where would their stance be by that point in the series? Who would still be alive? I mean, Kaneki, I kind of think that he probably will survive at the end of Tokyo Ghoul Re. I really do. As far as Touka, Hinami, and Hinami's already been through like the worst amount of shit that she's been through, so I think Hinami's okay. But Banjo, Yomo, Shu, Ayato, and Touka, I think they're still characters that are still kind of like left to be determined. And that's kind of just where my stand stands on that, as far as like a possibility for a Tokyo Ghoul Part 3.
But truth be told, there is a lot of content to do for Part 3. Even with CCG being gone, again, the CCG is in the tip of the iceberg. They in this very edge. They're at the very edge, the brink of this extinction of their own kind. Because if it wasn't for Furuta, if it wasn't for him bringing Kanu to bring like all the research he has done to make All Guy happen, the CGG would have been done for. They already have 4 to 5 S1. Oh, not S1. Like the special rank 1 guys, something like that. You don't have that much anymore. You go back to the last arc, there was I think there was 6 or 5 even, and that was before Uri become 1, got promoted and all that stuff.
I think it was 6.
Yeah, there was so few. When you go back to the third arc, it was like there were like 10 of them, 10, 11, 12. There was so many, and Arima wasn't even part of it. But if you count Arima, that's like 100 extra right there. So that's gone though. That's all gone. Zero Squad is gone. Arima is gone. The best, one of the really good people, the really good strong guys, Hoji, the other Washu guy, they're gone. They're pretty much at the lowest point right now. I mean, even Uri said the same thing. Like, even if he did recruit, or even if he did bring out Oga, even if Furuta has everybody on his hand, CCG is pretty much done. They're done. The morale is done. The ethic is done. Everything is done. So all they have to do is make Furuta look like a lying piece of shit. Everything would just fall apart. Everybody would lose hope. Maybe everybody would just lose himself, and everything just go down the hill, down the drain. CCG is no more. That's all it takes. That's all. Pretty much what I'm saying is this arc, if it's the last one of this part, it might as well be about CCG because they're at the very, very, very edge of the cliff of their extinction. And then you can cover V organization, the Paria. They introduced themselves in the last arc, probably to remind us and let us know that there's still a lot story to be told from these two, especially with Paria, because we don't know. Like, we don't know what's their agenda. We know they like to mess around. They like to have fun. They like to just torment everybody. We even see that we don't even see that girl, that woman from the bar throughout the entire.
No, we haven't.
I forgot the name already. That's how far we haven't seen her. But we know she's there. We know she's capable to fight. I mean, Uta introduced, if I recall, right?
Yeah.
And he if I recall, she's known to be pretty dangerous herself. So we don't even know what she's capable of.
We don't even know how Period even formed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the crazy thing.
Exactly. We don't know some of the ghouls, how they fight, how they was their cognate. We don't even know that. We don't know Uta's agenda. We don't know Nico's how he fights. We don't know none for these. So it's so vague still that there's a lot to cover in the next series, the next part.
Even Kimi, working for Kano's another big thing too. It's like, wait, hold on, what happened over here?
Here's the funny thing: if she doesn't show up throughout this arc, then Kano will live in a strange way. And I would hate that. I would hate that so damn much.
I don't blame you, dude. I really don't.
Hey, damn it. What else? And the V organization. We have not know anything. So there's that. There you go. You can work around from there. We just know that they're the one that behind of everything. That's what Eto said. And we don't even know she's alive either. I'm hoping she is.
I was gonna say, wasn't she confirmed dead, or was that kind of like up in the air?
Up in the air, because you don't see her last breath. You don't see her like, dead. You don't see her corpse. You see her talking last words to Kaneki what to do as a king. What the small advice on what he has to do from this point forward.
That's true.
But we don't know if she was spared, because Kaneki wanted to save her, but then he said, you know what, the hell with that. But who's to say it didn't go back to that idea again? Like, oh, you know what? I'm going to save you. Even if you did so many bad shit to me, I will give you credit where you saved my friends. And I would just respect you for one time only.
Right.
So it's really up in the air. It's seriously up in the air. But again, there's a lot of things you could work around for a third part. Right now, we just focus on this part because it is like the main centerpiece. And ever since beginning of this series, this chapter of the Tokyo Ghoul saga, I guess you want to call it, it has been about CCG. So what's fitting to do is to end it. That would be the best fit.
Yeah, and because again, you restart off with the CCG, so you might as well end it off with the fall of CCG2. Actually, in a way, that would be kind of symbolic to the original ending, because in a way, the ending of the original Tokyo Ghoul was supposed to be like not only the end of On Take It, but the end of like just that particular storyline with the ghouls. And then, sure, there's ghouls in Tokyo Ghoul Re also. But when you start off Tokyo Ghoul Re, it's with the CCG. So in a weird sense, you could say it's kind of like a tragedy for the CCG when you're looking at it in that context.
What here's another thing with the first part, when you see the way how it ended is everything has to split apart. Everybody split apart. Kaneki was presumed dead.
Yeah.
So a lot of time has to pass, and then because a lot of time has to pass to make them into Sasaki, to make their side, to put it on their side, and to start the whole Q Squad project. Now, if we're gonna go to the third chapter of the saga, if you want to call it that, we could just have CCG be gone, and you could work from there, and you could just have like the third part start off saying like, it's been like a year, 2 years after CCG is no more, so therefore the ghouls are roaming around, the people are still scared, they're more scared than ever, death rate has increased higher because there's nothing to be feared. It would just show you the effectiveness of what happened. There's no CCG, there's no more police that you could say. That's like, oh, what happened? There's no police authority in Tokyo. It's kind of like that, but you can start off from there.
No police force, no FBI, no CIA, none of that.
No, none of that. There's nobody to protect people. I mean, you could say go probably protect them, but nobody's gonna ever give them a huge prop because they're good themselves. So
I know I said exactly.
So it's like you could start from there. You could start the entire series from that position. Like, okay, we're entering Tokyo without any forces to stop these ghouls or to protect the people. And maybe, I don't know, and if with CCG gone, it has to force the V organization to do something now.
It does.
So when you break that wall, you have to go to the next one. Or if not, you go to the main deal, the main kings that's controlling everybody in this case. A lot of possibility. I mean, hey, if we don't end this on part of the chapter and we still continue on, fine, cool.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, it's still continuation. It's still Tokyo Ghoul. I'm down. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, it feels like it is ending. We're saying that it feels like it's ending. We're not saying the series is ending. No,
we're not.
No, hell no. We still have a couple of things to go. A couple of things actually.
Yeah, I mean, again, if Tokyo Ghoul Re is the end of the overall series, I'd be a bit concerned. But if it's just like the Re storyline, I'm down with that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, is there anything else we can talk about regarding possibilities with the ending?
The ending of the series, or just this part?
Just this part.
I don't know. You think Goat will split up for a moment, like a longer time again?
It's possible.
Maybe they will split up and it will probably help. Maybe each of them will probably do their ward part. I don't know. Like, let's go to that ward. You go to that ward. Fix everything up there, and we all meet up whenever the time comes. And it'll be like 2 years later. I
was thinking like maybe you could have it like that. Maybe like the epilogue, like if Ree's gonna have an epilogue similar to the ending of Tokyo Ghoul, which that's something if you guys don't know about. When Volume 14 came out, there was like a 2 extra page. I forget how long.
It was a couple of pages, that's for sure.
It was a couple extra pages, but there are a couple extra pages to that epilogue scene. And if you guys haven't checked it out, that's the way how that epilogue ends, and the start to Re is a great transition. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Yeah, it was. I didn't read that part. That's the funny thing. Because I know Red was already started. It was like up to chapter 20, I think.
Yeah.
So I was like started to read Tokyo Ghoul, and I never got to read that chapter with the extras. So when I went to chapter 1, I'm like, man, this new character Sasaki reminds me of Kaneki, but it's still sad. I don't care. It's like I guess this is the reason why he went to a different Tokyo. I guess this is why he went to a sequel rather than like stay in the same Tokyo Ghoul realm. He went to Tokyo Ghoul Red because he wanted to focus on the new characters. Fine. It still sucks that you kill one character, then we gotta go get used to the new main character. When it turns out it is him.
Yeah, the minute you see chapter 7, it's like, he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive. I still remember how I posted that. That was like the main thing I did. He's alive.
It's like the man is on some.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Shinobu Sensui, but I was like, yeah, In a way, he kind of is.
I know. I see some discussion saying like, I think he has the mind of him. I don't think he's alive. And then the next chapter, oh, he is alive.
Oh shit!
That is him. That is really him. People thought that he only got the mind of Kaneki, or at least the Kagane talking to him.
It's like, nope, it is actually Kaneki.
It is really him. It is 100% him. Just not the memory, though.
And then he had that fight with Eto, and I was like, nope, he is back 100%.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind Sasuke. I want to say that right now. Sasuke, I actually really liked as a character. And when his goodbye came, it was sad. I mean,
it was sad.
I was excited to see Kaneki, but his goodbye, wow, like that hit me hard.
Yeah, like it was so sad to watch him scared that his memory would be just be I can't find the right word, but basically it would go to a knot, I guess. Mm-hmm. And everything that Kaneki is would just continue from there on, and not respect anything that Sasuke haven't thought. And it kind of seemed like it's still going that direction, because even though there is Q Squad in his mind, I think it's playing off like he still hasn't acknowledged it completely. Hopefully he does soon.
True.
Because it feels like he doesn't truly acknowledge his deep connection with the Q Squad. It's always drawn the way that's like it's so far back for him. And it's funny because it's like, besides Hida, who's remained dead to him, and I guess to us too, they are the only closest human, minus Akira, who pretty much said like, I don't like you anymore because this and that. That didn't help. So this is the closest you could get for a human, family wise.
Exactly. And I mean, again, that's what I'm really kind of hoping, that we do get some kind of reunion with the Kia Squad, because when you really think about it, there hasn't been like a legitimate moment with them, minus Mutsuki. Okay, it's been like since the ending of the Rose investigation arc. That's like the last time when you had a moment with them. So then, like, okay, yeah, like, because they played a part in Coachella, but again, Kaneki and the QS Squad, I mean, granted, like, he was relieved of his duty, but since then, they barely had any interaction. So having this, if this is the final arc of Tokyo Ghoul, having them reunite with Kaneki, I think it should happen. It really should.
Yeah, it really has to happen. I kind of like how they keep it the notion from the Q Squad that he still means a lot to them, at least with with Psycho. That's clear. That's very clear. Uri has to deal with the situation with him because he has his own personal grudge, which is, I understand. So hopefully it will clear out somehow. I just don't know how and when. Maybe this arc, which doesn't sound good, but maybe this arc. It's the only best bet we can have, guys. It's the only best bet.
It really does.
But going back to that question, if I may, about the whole, can it fit 19 chapters to end it? But the thing is, we don't have. The thing is, by the time 124 happens in the last part, it was already at the end of the setup. So all you have to do is execute the action. We're still in the setup, midway at least, because we don't even know who are we attacking? Who are we going to see a raid? Are we going to do anything? We haven't even got to that yet. We know that these guys are exterminating all ghouls. We just don't know what's next. That's the part.
That is a good point you brought up there. Yeah, I didn't think about that for a minute. Yeah, because by the time we get to the 124 in the original, like the action, like the setup was already done, and the action is the only thing that needed to take place. Here, we're still kind of setting up some things, so that's interesting to bring up there.
Right. Maybe it'll become clear by 2 chapters. Maybe not next chapter. The next chapter has to deal with this.
This whole little if they hit the sheets or not.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go with that. Just give it 2 chapters. It probably will find out, and then we're gonna probably start getting ready for the big main event.
Yep.
Should be fun. Should be fun.
Get ready for the resurrection of Haidu, guys. It's gonna happen.
That's going to happen. A lot of bloods will be shed. That's at least that's how he said it. Actually, blood will flow, whatever that means.
Something like that.
Yeah, a lot of countless death. Oh boy.
So many things, guys.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you still think Scarecrow is kind of likely to play a role in this arc, or not really?
I think he should, because CCG is really getting a lot of focus. So maybe he would be like, oh, I snuck in something for you guys to share so you can finally defeat Furata, and I cannot talk because I'm Scarecrow. I'm assuming. Maybe he will be revealed by the last chapter of the series. And I mean, not the series, the part. This part.
The part.
He's gonna blow people brains off. Oh my god, it's him.
It's like, oh my god. No, better yet. I have this great setup. You have Touka and Kaneki, like they're in the middle of a fight. You have Scarecrow show up, the mask comes off, and Kaneki's like, Hide. And it's like, I thought you were dead.
I lied. No, you can't lie. Or you could do that. You could do the way how that series did it. It's you. The next page, the giant, a very huge to be continued. I was like, seriously? That's how you end this chapter with a giant 1 page to be continued.
That's it.
It's you. Like, who's
no
who?
words.
It's you. I'm like, come on, don't say it that way. Just say it now. Give me the answer. Don't wait up long.
No, you don't have to say it's you. It's like,
I hope that doesn't happen. Now we have to really.
I'm really hoping that doesn't happen either.
Yeah. Oh god, I can see that happen.
I'm still gunning for Hide. I'm saying that right now. I'm still gunning for the fact that Scarecrow's Hide, because again, right now Kaneki and Hide. Because right now, Hide's situation is MIA, and they need closure. Just like how Touka and Yoriko need closure, too.
I think people would be so upset it's not him.
I know, right? That would suck.
They'd be like, no, I hate the series forever.
I wouldn't say that. I would just be like, oh, man.
He should just troll and be some very, very brand new character that nobody don't know nor care. Who are you?
Goku?
Well, that's too far. Too far now. I'm just saying it could be just some character that nobody cares at all. Just cute character. We don't want new character. We want Hide.
Yeah, please.
Huh. Now think about it. There won't be any new character in this arc. It will be straight up everybody who we know already that are going to die again. But not again, unless she does die again. But kind of doubt that, to be honest. So, but the other characters, I see them dying. Yeah, it's a lot of possibility of deaths.
At this point, yeah.
I feel like a lot of GOAT members are going to die in this arc. If it's going to be the blood flow, the way they say, if it's really going to be a bloodbath, I see a lot of GOAT member die. I see almost the entire Naki family die, except for Naki himself.
True.
I see that happen.
I can see that too.
I'm not sure if Shu fought or whatever come back and fight, because he is pretty powerful. He would be very hopeful at that point. But if he does go in combat, something tells me he might die there.
unless if he's not used in the arc, and again we do get a Tokyo Ghoul Part 3, you could save him for that.
I hope he was musing. So sophisticated, so manlyhood in terms for his son. Wait for Papa, I will save you. And plus, he's like the only family member you got left. It will be cruel ironic, if she kills the father.
That would
be the biggest FU I ever seen from Ishida. Like, come on, man, what are you doing? He's not, what are you trying to treat him, Vegeta? Like Akira Toriyama to Vegeta? I hate Vegeta. Treat him trash.
Just pull a resurrection F. No, please.
No, burn them all. Who else? Let's see. CCG Jai again between Mutsuki and Takeomi. It's 1-on-1. One of them has to die.
I don't know. I see more of CCG's members dying than GOAT. That's a weird thing. Like I see some members from GOAT dying again, like the Naki family. Besides from Naki, yeah, I could see him. I could see them dying. But I don't know. Possibility of death, I feel like, is more on the CCG side. Yeah,
I'm trying to think who though.
Furita's obviously one.
What you said, Furita?
Yeah,
I do believe he's going to die in this arc.
You got him. You got Mutsuki. Touken was a maybe.
What are the Aura?
I said yeah, but
maybe
you can include Aura in.
Yeah, maybe the nephew would die. But if say like a Takeomi was gonna kill Mutsuki, I could see him take the bait. I take the fall. That could happen.
True.
Like I'll protect you, dead.
Susie, Susie is a maybe right now. I don't know.
Susie, a squad, like a good half of them will die. I think that's how I see it. Like, I don't think the one that's not, hopefully, the one that might be spare will be, I forgot his name. The one he got a novel just now. I think he's gonna get spared.
I know what you're talking about. Oh my god. I'm
Yeah.
forgetting the name too.
Umbri might be spare. I hope. He's cool.
Ui could be spared. I don't know. Ui's kind of, I don't know.
But
I'm always kind of mixed on him.
to me, to me, it's like, I can't say it's 50-50 yet, but right now the chances chance of death is I wouldn't say slim, but it's not as high. I would say 30%. It all counts on this resurrection thing, because like I said, if is like, say if she dies again, I think his time is up too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is his second chance, his ultimatum. Even though it sucks that he has to deal with Furuta because he's a piece of shit, but if this is like his only chance to actually save somebody, protect somebody. But if she dies again, then I just see him dead too, because you fail again. Like he got too many downfall that maybe this one will actually be surprisingly his wake-up call. And as well, also I feel like if he wants to redeem himself, he could stop hating Ghoul.
That would be a good place to start.
I mean, like, he was cool with Sasaki.
He was.
That was surprising, but unfortunately, the whole "you kill Arima" now it's just made him like feel like crap. They are shit. So I don't know if there's another rerun to the whole, maybe ghouls, not all ghouls are banned. It all depends how this whole thing works out. Going back to goats. Maybe shoot, what's his name again?
Which character?
He's with the Zero Squad.
Is it Hideko?
Yes, maybe he might die.
I could see that actually. I didn't think about that, but yeah. That's one I could see.
He might die. I don't think the Zero Squad kid will die. Actually, maybe one or two, maybe. I don't know.
I can see a couple. I don't see like the entire squad dying though.
No, I don't think the entire squad would die. Maybe they'll all be spare. I don't think if Ishida really wants to draw the connection, I don't think the one that's related to Haru is going to die. Because
I think Nishiki will survive too. Because again, like,
he has to settle with Kimi.
That needs to be settled first.
That needs to be to sound like, okay, we could die now.
Okay, I didn't mean to say it like that, but
you cannot die yet. You got to talk to her just for one sentence, and then you could die.
No, but it's like no. He can't die because, and I'm not just saying that because Kimi, but it's like, do you feel like his death is necessary? Was kind of where I'm getting at.
See, that's the thing about deaths and stay alive or being brought back. It's all about like, how relevant is it?
Mm-hmm.
Does his death be relevant? I mean, like, you could cut down numbers of the character counts and it would make a sad part for whatever the character that reflects him. But it's not entirely necessary. It's not like you must die for make the story to be sadder, or you must die to make Kaneki feel more sadder, Well, I don't even know sadder is the word. But point is, what I'm saying is that no, it's not really necessary. I mean, you can still kill him off, don't get me wrong, but it's not like a mandatory thing. It's not like it needs to happen. It must happen.
If it's like if it's handled in the same way as the way how Arima died, then yeah, I can accept that.
Well, yeah, that's usually the case whenever the character that's like been developed so far, they get like a chapter worth of death. That's what happens to practically everybody in Rose Investigation. Well, not everybody, but mainly Shirazu and Karin.
Yep.
Yeah. And Arima got like 3 chapters. I mean, he was a big main key character. So that in a way, because of that, that's why I kind of guess that I don't think Eto is dead.
True.
I mean, if she dies, that sucks. But if she doesn't die, well, I knew it.
I'd be like, huh, okay, so she is alive. Cool.
The only character that needs to die the most brutal way has to be Kanu. If he doesn't die, and he gets any ounce of respect, I'll be so pissed. I'm
They'd be
gonna,
like, no, you ain't. You're not getting a Orochimaru fight with this. You
no, you will die. You will freaking die. You freaking bastard. You have to die. You have to get the worst possible ending. You have to get the worst possible kill. And yeah. You just have to. He just have to. There's no other option. There is no redemption. There is nothing anything else. There's nothing like that. It should not be like that.
nope. It really should. I mean, to quote you, what you said a while back, it's like his death has to top Berserk's death. What was it? The chain death.
No. I'm just thinking of the theme song they play every time Guts do something badass. Something like that. But yeah, something like that. The worst possible death, the worst death that you've seen in Berserk or maybe any manga done to Kano times 10. It has to be that.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it just has to be. Nothing else. Oh man.
I mean, again, going back to the epilogue thing, if Tokyo Ghoul has it, I can even actually see this happening. It's like, okay, so Goat wins, everything's fine. You have Scarecrow just in the corner, like, watching over the shit, and he's like, seems like he did well, and he, like, pulls out the mask, and he says, Kaneki.
I feel rewarded.
It's like, fuck, I gotta figure out what happened to part 3 now.
All right.
I could see that. Huh.
Unless Scarecrow is a villain. You betrayed me, Hina.
It's like, you damn traitor.
You know. Come to think of it, now that I just brought to my mind, you know that Scarecrow cannot talk properly from the sound of it, right?
Yeah, that's right. Because his neck is bitten off. Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't. No, never mind.
Wait, what?
No, I was thinking something like maybe. I was thinking, the hospital scene, the one that still didn't get answer. Why Touka visit the hospital?
That's a good question.
Actually, that's still possible. I don't even know she knows that Kaneki knows that he's not alive.
He visit.
She should be like, by the way, he is not dead. Wow. Kaneki probably used probably goes centipede move. Centipede push her away from potential kiss or sex. It's like, where is her? Where is her?
It's like you have to tell casually, it's like, hey, Kaneki, I got word from your friend. It's like, get out of here.
He's like, but then you just told me about, but you just said, I never want to be consumed by the desire to see a friend. I lied. I'm so desired to see him. I want to meet him. Where is he? Where is he?
It has been wait, how long has it been? 3 years? Shit.
Oh, 2 years? 2.5 now, I think.
Well, wasn't there a 6-month time skip in?
Yeah, I'll say 2.5. That's why I said 2.5 because of the half part comes to the time skip. Yeah, 6-month time skip with Uri being a leader, new members of Q Squad, and Kaneki being Kaneki. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's been a while. Damn.
Even for Touka and Yoriko too. Shit.
Man, so what a mystery.
There's a lot of stuff to cover.
Yep.
Enough to warrant a part 3.
There's a lot to do for part 3.
And we just have to wait and see if Touka and Kaneki actually hit the sheets.
Yeah, that too. The main question that everybody has in mind right now. Oh, the hype. The hype.
So, let us know, guys. What do you think? Did they smash? Is Hide actually Scarecrow? Or Scarecrow actually Hide, vice versa? Who do you guys think is going to die? And part 3. What do you think will be the focus of that? And aside from that, guys, as far as this podcast goes, I think we pretty much covered everything. Sparta, it was really great to have you on board again, as always.
Great to be here, as always. It's really great to be doing another podcast, and I believe there will be more to come.
More, definitely, for sure. And aside from that, guys, from Bridget, I'm Lucky 7.
SPARDA3g.
And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.